Roberto here for another video review, this time with the Nestle Quality Street Intrigues Orange Truffles. Yes, I've just reviewed the, hopefully you would have already seen it, but I've just reviewed, if you haven't, I'm sure the link will appear in the video somewhere at some point, but I've just reviewed the salted caramel ones, so I've got the orange ones. Yeah, so basically the same thing, but where these were flavoured salted caramel, these are basically flavoured orange, so probably not going to blow your socks off with the imagination of these things. Nonetheless, a nice pair of flavours really. Now obviously orange has been all over the place recently. I don't know if it's finally fading away, but we've had so many orange flavoured stuff. I mean, basically these two have been the big flavours in the past 5 or so years, haven't they? It was I think it was chili chocolate before salted caramel, then it was salted caramel, and now it's orange. So you know, kind of, yeah, there we go. But obviously I think chili chocolate's been and gone now. You can still get it some places, but you know, the fad's gone, I think. So yeah, so we're left with orange truffles now. Yeah, so first of all, you'll notice it's labelled as Quality Street, but it's got as much to do with Quality Street as this t-shirt really. You know, it's just literally, I mean, it just says Quality Street on it. I guess, you know, well, I guess my t-shirt doesn't say Quality Street on it, but if it did, they'd be pretty much on level pegging for, for actually their relation to Quality Street. So yeah, so but basically Quality Street is a chocolate selection, and it's got various chocolates in it. I mean, you do have an orange flavoured one. We don't have a salted caramel one, I don't believe, at least not that I recall anyway, unless they've added a new one recently. Time recording that is, of course. But the orange one, there is an orange flavoured Quality Street chocolate, but it's nothing like this. This one does have sort of like flakes on the outside that are orange flavoured, but it's nothing like that whatsoever. So I don't know why it's branded as Quality Street, other than the fact that it's just to piggyback off the branding. So yeah, these have been available in the shops for some time. I was put off buying them because they're quite expensive for what they are really, or at least, yeah, well, yeah, for what they are really. You could get a box of Quality Street for kind of the same price, and I don't know, just not quite appeal to me really. They don't really look that great. I don't think the box looks very interesting. I don't know, you know, like I was saying on the other ones as well, I feel like I don't know, it kind of, the outer layer does look a bit, I don't know, like reptile scales almost, not really appeal to me. Is it a different picture? Now what I do like actually here, now I've just noticed it because I was inspecting it to an extent. I mean, there's some similarities, but if you look at the, I don't know if I can quite show you, I can't see them both at the same time, but if you look at the actual, but the one that's not divided in half, the truffle, the actual flakes are different, they're not the same. So they've actually not just used the same picture, you know, or recoloured it, they're literally, the flakes are arranged differently. So I quite like that. I quite like that. You know, they've not just photoshopped it. You know, they've actually used a different chocolate. I think even the one divided in half, I think, is not the same as well. You can see the flakes, or at least they've manipulated it to look different, one or the other. They might have just manipulated it to look different, but which I have seen them do on other chocolates. but they use the same one. They've added in nuts rather than raisins and stuff. I think it was a Topic vegan bar. I think where they literally used the same picture, but they'd just photoshopped out the raisins and replaced them with hazelnuts where there was one that didn't have raisins in, you know, or vice versa. Anyway, digressing a bit there. There you go, so it looks alright, but nothing too special. I'm not too keen on the look of it. I feel like it doesn't look that great really. It really hasn't appealed to me, this box at all. Yeah. But you know, I saw them on offer. They're quite expensive, as I can't quite recall what they are, but I saw them, I don't know, £1 cheaper or something like that. Still reasonably expensive, still about £3 or something, or £2.50 or something like that. So, but I finally bit the bullet and got them, and here we are. So yeah, so as I say, nothing, doesn't look too great, but clearly orange flavour. You know, versus salted caramel one. A bit weird salted caramel. There's salt on that picture, is there? Well, maybe there is on the caramel itself, but it's not obvious. Well, it's not quite as, no, there's not a massive bag of salt or something like that. There we go, nothing too dramatic going on. Quality Street Intrigue. There's stuff on the back. 2 sweets is 1 serving. Good life, good food, good life, Nestle. Good to know, and they don't use any artificial colours, flavours or preservatives. And here's the calories. Per 100 grams, 442 calories, 25 grams of fat, 15.1 of which are saturates. So most chocolate products are between 500 and 550 chocolate bars, things like this. So per 100 grams. So calorie wise, it's not too bad. Per 2 sweets, 88 calories, 5 grams of fat, 3 of which are saturates. And there's the, yeah, so slightly less calorific and less fattening than the salted caramel one, I think is the gist of it. 93 calories, 5.1 grams of fat, 3.1 of which are saturates per 2 sweets. 88 calories, 5 grams of fat, 3 of which are saturates per 2 sweets. So slightly less calories and slightly less fat. Only slightly then. Alright. Yeah, okay. Anything else of interest? We'll just give the description underneath. Milk chocolate truffle with an orange flavoured centre, 59%. Covered with orange flavoured pieces, 9.5%. Milk chocolate contains cocoa solids, 30% minimum, milk solids, 14% minimum. So I think, so 59 and 9.5. Yeah, 9.5. 13, 14. So they've just used a different flavouring. It's exactly the same other than the flavour. Okay, anything of interest on there? We could say tree nuts and gluten, so it's vegetarians, 200g box. Don't think there's any palm oil in there. Apple puree it's got. Don't think it had that in the yeah, can't see it in this one anyway. But yeah, they always use apple as a base for most sort of fruit flavours, to be honest. If you ever see anything that's fruit flavoured, usually got apple in it, even regardless of the fruit. Even like fruit juices and things like this tend to have apple in there. Alright. Cocoa Plan, supporting farmers for better chocolate. Working with UTZ, which is basically Rainforest Alliance nowadays. They've merged and they go under the Rainforest Alliance branding for the most part. To support cocoa farmers, learn more at nestlecocoplan.com. Alright, well, I think we should give these an open then, and yeah, sort of like on the insides. Let's do it. Let's give them an open. Okay, I'm going to give these Nestle Quality Street Intrigues Orange Truffles an open. So you can see it's got a little nubbin at the top there, so you can reseal it. They are individually wrapped as well, that I found out when I reviewed the salted caramel ones, so you might expect that really, but it didn't say it on the outside. So time recording, I've done about 920 reviews, believe it or not. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if not done so already. In the top right hand corner, I'll put a link to a playlist of all my other reviews, as well as some related ones. Nestle, I don't know, orange chocolate ones, Quality Street ones, Nestle reviews, things like this. So after you watch this one, go check those out. Hope you enjoy those too. Alright, so there you go. So you can see here all the individual wrappers there. So there was 21 in the salted caramel one, so we'll see how many's in this one. Now you will notice as well that they are individual wrapped. A bit of air in this one actually, but basically the truffle itself takes up so much. The truffle itself takes up so little space in this wrapper. It's just ridiculous. So if you had them all outside the wrapper in this box, it would barely go over the middle line of the box. To be honest with you, I don't even think they'd go that high. Let's see how many we've got. It should be 21. Well, if the other box is anything to go by. Let's have a see. So we're into rows of 5. Seems good enough. There we go. It's a bit messy down there. Alright, so we've literally got 20 in this one. So I've got one fewer in this one than we did in the salted caramel one. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so make of that what you will, but one fewer. I mean, I don't know. I can't. It just seems. It boggles my mind that they've got a box that weighs so much. 200 grams. I mean, it's an estimated amount, but surely they know how many they're putting in each box. I mean, they will know. You know what I mean? There's no way that this will end up with 10 more, for instance, will it? So surely they've got the accuracy to know to put exactly 21 or exactly 20 in. I mean, I guess it's better if you've got more than you should have done with the 21, but I don't know. You feel like you've probably got less, haven't you? You know what I mean? So yeah. So I'll tell you what. Let's give it a weigh, shall we? Let's go get my scales and we'll give it a weigh and see. All right. So I've got my trusty scales here. So we'll just what I'll do is I'll put them back in so you can see me do it. So you've got the box here. It's empty. Okay. All right. Okay. Pretty much right to the top there. So, all right. So here we go. So, pretty flat. Okay, so 0 grams. 233. Let's take one out. 223. So, all right. Well, looks like each one weighs 8 grams. 10 grams. So looks like each one weighs about 10 grams. Maybe 11 grams. So I don't know. It seems bizarre. That says it's a 200-gram box, but has 233. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, that one. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do then. Let's put it down here like that. So it's got 0 on it. See if we can still see the 932. So I'm gonna tear it. There we go. All right, so there we go. So yeah, so There we are, take one off. About 200 grams when you've just taken all the, obviously still got the wrappers on, but we have 20 in this one, around 21, so not too sure. Inconclusive, I think, is the gist. We still seem to have got one extra in this one, so maybe we've got 2 extra. I don't know how you measure it though, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But maybe we've got 2 extra in the salted caramel one, and we've got 1 extra in this one. You should only get 19, so I don't know. But it depends on how you go for it. This looks to, yeah, I don't know. Here's the gist of it. So inconclusive outcome there, but we don't seem to have been scrimped in this one, even though we've got 1 fewer than the other one, I think is the gist of it, based on the fact that it should have about 200 grams in the box. Alright, okay. Right, I'll just tie these up then and get back to equilibrium, or tidy state at least. Alright, so I've tied those away. We're back on track. Alright, so we've got 2 of them out here, so I'll give one an open. We'll have a look at it individually. So let's give it a go. Let's see. You can see this one's got less air than the one I showed earlier. So you can see it's just all this packaging here is just empty, you know. Alright. I must say actually I do kind of prefer these individual wrappers than the outer packaging. I feel like it's just, I don't know, just a bit metallic just makes it look a bit more interesting, I think. I don't know, but anyway. Alright. So you go, so you can see the nubbins on there. Some of these sort of flakes on the outside did come off in the packaging in the cow ones, but nothing in that one. Yeah. Let's open 2 then, just so we can okay, there we go. Alright, there we go. Okay. We can see here, compared to the actual wrapper or one in the wrapper, I mean just how much smaller it is. I mean look at that. So imagine these outside of the wrapper in this box. There's no way they would go all the way to the top. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, all right. So yes, let's have a look. We'll chop one in half as well. Give it a look. It's not cut very cleanly there, but it's cut. Okay, so you can see they do look pretty accurate. I mean, there's not as much of the flaky coverings as there is on the box. And this one here didn't have any in the wrapper, as you saw when I took it out. So there's definitely less flakes on them. But I don't mind that. I think it's acceptable. I guess in theory, though, it should have as many as there is on the box, shouldn't it, really? I think if it didn't have the picture on the box and it looked like that, well, I think if it looked like that on the box, I'd be fine. You know, I wouldn't think, oh, I should have more. But they could come off in the process, basically. Some of them do come off in the wrapper, as I saw in the previous review of the salted caramel ones, but so it could be that some have come off on the conveyor belt maybe, but even so, they should look like that. If that's what they look like on the box, that's what it should look like in the wrapper. But yeah, I think inside though, it does look relatively like it should do. I mean, it's scrudged down a bit because of the way I cut it, I think. Salted caramel ones were a bit taller when I cut them, I'm not sure. It does look a bit flatter, doesn't it? Don't know. Salted caramel one looked to be the right size. I don't know. Maybe I just scrunched it a bit when I chopped it. Not too bad, I guess. Yeah. So we'll just chop another one. There's a couple of pieces, but not too much. This one's a bit better covered, but still got a lot of patches. As I say. And real patches on there. Got the spot UV there, the effect there of the covering, which is quite nice. See where it's shiny on the actual orange and the truffle itself. Right, let's just give it a bit of a chop then, just to see if it does. Yeah, so this one I chopped it from the side this time. It does look to have the height. I think they're a pretty good representation, other than the coverage of the sort of the pieces on the outside of the chocolate. It's a pretty good representation actually, pretty accurate. You could probably tell, and maybe because I say that it does look to be a, let's say, a different picture than the one on the salted caramel for this one. You know, the pieces on the outside are arranged differently at least. So not like they've not just recoloured it or whatever. I forgot to mention there's a bit of an orange smell coming from them. Very small, very you know, it's not a massive strong orange smell coming from them, but there was one there. You know, if you put your nose close up, you can smell it even more. So there's an orange smell. It's not a massive one. Sometimes when you open Terry's chocolate orange or other chocolate orange type products, you do get a big waft of orange smell. You don't really with this one, but it could be because you're opening them individually. So maybe that's why, rather than a big bar or what have you. But all right, let's give them a taste. Let's do it. Looking forward to this. Let's give them a go. Okay then, everyone going to give these Nestle Quad Street Intrigues Orange Truffles a taste. Yeah, so nothing to do with Quad Street at all really, other than the fact it says Quad Street on it, so very bizarre. Don't know why they've done that, other than the fact that it's just a way of using their existing branding to promote this product, but it's very strange. There's nothing really like Quad Street whatsoever. Yeah, in any way, shape or form really. I think there are, I don't even know if there's a truffle in Quad Street, but anyway, you get the gist. There's nothing really like this in Quad Street. But yeah, let's give it a go. Look very nice, look very interesting. See, covered in these little sort of flaky bits on the outside that should be flavoured orange, so let's give it a taste. Let's do it. Wow. Quite a fruity orange flavour, by which I mean, it's interesting. It tastes more like it tastes more authentic, I think you'd say, than general orange flavourings that you get in the actual Quad Street orange crisp, whatever it's called, that sort of orange chocolate you get in there, or Terry's chocolate orange or things like that. I think it definitely tastes more. I don't know if it tastes like real orange, but it definitely tastes like a more authentic. I think you'd say it tastes more orange. Like it tastes more like it's come from an orange rather than it's chocolate. It's something flavoured with orange, if that makes sense. Although I don't know, it's a funny one to say. It's a hard one to describe really, but it definitely has a bit more of an authentic feel to it. I think it just tastes a bit more orangey. You know, it just tastes a bit more. It tastes a bit more like it's got orange extract or something like that in it, rather than, I don't know, just an orange flavouring, if that makes sense. It does taste a bit more orangey, a bit more fruity than regular sort of orange flavoured chocolates. I like the salted caramel one. The truffle is very solid. You know, it's not solid. It's bordering on chewy. It's not. It's liquidy, but to the point where it's quite. It's got a bit of. It's not quite. It's not really as fluffy. It's not fluffy or melty in the mouthy as much as other truffles. It's quite solid, really. Almost gives you a chew. I mean, coupled with the surround, these sort of like crunchy bits on the outside, definitely is. It definitely gives it a bit of substance, basically, more than say a Lindor. Well, a lot more than a Lindor or the Malteser bunnies or what have you that you get during Easter or what have you. You know, those kind of fluffy Malteser truffle centres and most other truffles out there, really. Interesting one. Now I do feel like now the salted caramel one I feel works better than this one actually. I'm going to say, because I feel like you got the impression that you're eating salted caramel sort of chunks on the outside, even though it wasn't. It's just salted caramel flavour things. But you got that impression with this one. I just feel like I'm eating. I don't know. They don't really feel like they're orange flavoured, even though they are. At least it says on the box. I feel like I'm just eating weird, I don't know, shavings of something, you know. It doesn't work as well because it's just a flavouring. I'm not sure I quite like the consistency as much. As I say, it's got a bit of a chew to them as well, which I think contributes to the fact that the truffle feels like it's a bit more chewy or got a bit more substance. I mean, it might not really have that. It might just be a trick from the those little sort of chunks on the outside as crunchy bits, or well, not really crunchy, but little what do they call them? Well, orange flavoured pieces, it says. Yeah, so I think they might contribute to the illusion of making it feel like it's got more of a sort of a chewy consistency, the sense of the truffle. Probably does actually. But yeah, it don't work as well as the salted caramel one, because as I say, the salted caramel one tricks you into thinking you're chewing caramel and you're not. And this one, because you're not, you know, because it's clear you're not doing it, they just taste a bit weird. Yeah, just have a bit of a funniness to them. So quite nice textures and things, quite nice tastes and flavours. But yeah, the orange is quite refreshing. It's quite nice, but I don't know. I feel like it tastes a bit more authentic, a bit more orange-like than sort of regular orange flavoured chocolates. But I don't know. I feel like the product as a whole is just not quite right. I mean, the salted caramel one works pretty well. This one, I'm not too sure about really. I think as I say, the sort of the outer sort of like chewy pieces or whatever they're called, flavor. What's it called again? Well, just the pieces, but call them orange flavored pieces. They're a bit chewy, but they don't really work with the orange. They don't. As I say, the flavor doesn't complement them. Basically, they just taste like hard, chewy pieces that haven't really got any flavour, because you're tasting the orange flavour from the truffle. It doesn't really come across in the chewy bits. It might be there if you had one individually, but they're quite, quite small. Let's try one. I've got one here. Quite difficult to discern the orange flavour from them. Maybe if you had a few of them, perhaps. But so you get it from the truffle anyway, and that's where it feels like they get the flavour from. Those kind of just feel a bit like just hard chewy pieces. So it feels like you're tasting just like a chewy substance, really. Not sure I quite like that, Yeah, so these ones, they're not quite as good as the salted caramel ones, I don't think. They're a bit more average. They're okay. The truffle scent, it just doesn't work as well, because the one comes across as being a sort of caramel-like treat. And because it's got like a relatively chewy outside and the centre, I don't know, either by by sort of maybe a trick of the product, whether on purpose or not, comes across as feeling a bit more chewy as well, even though it's a truffle. It's not quite chewy, but it feels like it's got more of a substance than it probably otherwise would do. I think it works, but in this one, because it's orange flavoured, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The outer crunchy bits, or well, they're chewy really. The outer sort of like pieces on the outside are quite chewy, and they just don't work with the orange flavour that come across as tasting like an orange, like with the other ones where they taste like you're eating caramel. So it's yeah, I'm not sure. And the orange flavour I quite like. It's quite refreshing. It's a bit like orange flavoured concentrate to an extent, which I think is okay. I'm not sure. It's different. I think it's different. It feels like you are tasting orange, even though it's a bit more concentrated, rather than just orange flavoured chocolate, as I say, like in Terry's Chocolate Orange and other chocolatey type products like that. But I'm not sure whether I prefer it this way. But unless it is different. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like these ones not quite as good as the other ones, really. I feel, as I say, for all those reasons I mentioned, the orange flavour just doesn't work with this kind of treat. I feel like the chewy piece on the outside don't really work when flavoured orange. You don't really feel like the flavoured orange actually. And the truffle sensor is okay. It's all right. As I say, the concentrated orange sort of tastes okay, but I just don't think it works with this product. I think it definitely works better with the salted caramel flavouring. Really, it's nice. Just doesn't work as well as the salted caramel one. Just doesn't work quite well. Yeah. So 3 out of 5. Okay, guys, so enjoyed that review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the YouTube member program and the Discord server. Link for those are in the description. Check out one of these links as well. It's appearing all over the screen. If it's not there now, they will do shortly. Great to support the channel. Hopefully you'll see some other reviews you enjoy as well. Leave a comment or free as well. Always great to hear from you. Always do my best to reply. Have a great day also, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.